yeah, we looking like giants. Trendsetter, high fashion, we stylish. Talking pressure on that, we apply. Not talking playgrounds when I say that we slide. Going live from the bricks.
2 cents. I'm finna hit you with these rapid fire topics. We're not gonna spend too much time on them. Just an opinion, and then we're gonna pass. All right. First topic. My first topic is for you first. Define cheating.
What?
Define cheating.
Not being loyal, doing something you wouldn't want your significant other to do.
Kind of the same thing. If I gotta hide it, it's cheating.
Yeah.
If I'm deleting text message, if it is just conversation. If I gotta delete the text message because I don't want you to see it, it's cheating.
Facts. I'm with y'all on this 100%. Look like ain't no debate here because I was simply gonna say anything that you not okay with your partner doing, anything that you gotta hide, then that's cheating. And some people would say it's just sex. I say it's any of that shit. Next topic. I want to talk about this concept of going on 20-day girls trips. This comes from DJ Envy telling on Breakfast Club. He told us that his wife was gone on a 20-day girls trip, and it brought up a lot of questions on social media. I want to ask you: is it okay for a married woman to take a 20-day girls trip?
What is she doing on these 20 days? I mean, maybe it's because I'm on the outside looking in and I'm not married.
Right.
But if I was married, what am I doing on these 20 days? Because even when I'm in a relationship, after 2 or 3 days, it's like, baby, I miss you. I'm ready to come home. So it's like, you're not missing them?
Yeah.
What's going on in 20 days?
Wait. Before you go.
You start a new family in 20 days.
Before you go, I did write down this bullet point that I should have mentioned. They've been together since childhood. We're talking about a couple that have been together for pretty much their whole lives.
I'm gonna agree with her. I'm not going nowhere for 20 days when my woman ain't there. I don't give a fuck what we talking about.
Right.
Guys trip, family trip, whatever it is. After day 3, shorty flying out.
I mean, it's not natural to not miss your significant other.
Facts. I almost, that was the point that I was gonna make. I'm glad y'all got to it first.
This was like and I think I would want to go on something like this with my woman too. I wouldn't just send her off on her own. But unless this was like one of those trips where it was like a spiritual trip, people go to Israel and stuff like that, and there may be a 3-week trip, and some kind of spiritual trip or something like that. I can understand that. But outside, and we don't know if that's what that was. We just know it was she went with her girls. Mm-hmm. But outside of the realm of that, just random trips for 20 days,
just random girls,
it's gotta have some type of significance to make 20 days make sense.
Well,
and that's the only reason why I can't condemn it, because I don't know what the significance of the 20 days were for her.
I can't condemn it just because she got a husband that was okay with it.
That allowed it.
But it does bring to question. I think it's weird too to want to be away from your husband. But not only that, they got several kids. I couldn't imagine leaving my girls for 20 days and I'm vacationing, you know what I'm saying, having a good time for that long. Like, that shit, I think it's weird to be able to do that. But I also think that somebody that's been with that same person for a long time, maybe they could stay away from that person a little bit longer than somebody like we could. But I still think about the kids. Like, you ain't been with the kids for 20 years.
That's
like,
crazy.
Exactly.
Next topic. This one's for you first. Should people ever lower their standards when it comes to dating?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. At a younger age, I've done it, and it's gotten me nowhere. Like, and I said it this last go around. I'm done dating people just for their potential. You gotta come with it, baby, because I'm not about to go. Oh, I'm about to go date Drake. Mm-hmm. We together anyway, but I'm about to go date Drake, and I ain't got my stuff together. Like, I'm expecting him to be all of these things, and I ain't coming with it. So I'm not about to lower my standards. It's like, no, don't lower your standards, because at the end of the day, you're going to be disappointed.
Right. What you think?
I think that if your standards match you, then no, don't lower your standards, don't lower your requirements. But there is an issue when a lot of people have standards that supersede even themselves.
Right.
So you aren't even that caliber person, but that's your standards. Nah, you got.
That's why I said I can't go date Drake right now. Even though we together, I can't go date Drake right now. Let me get to millionaire status. Like, let me get where we have a little level of comfortability that we can talk business and talk to.
But that goes back to the last topic, the last conversation we had. about women requiring things from men that they can't provide for themselves. That woman want that man to have a car that she don't have. She want that man to have a house that she don't have. She want him to have the emotional competence and the financial stability that she doesn't have. It's the same shit.
I want stability. The typical woman, yes. Me personally, no. I want stability. So it's like, oh baby, you gotta come a little harder. I want you to be stable. I want you to have goals. I want you to have ambition. Because
but you have that for yourself.
And I already have.
That's fair game.
I'm with that.
Don't lower your standards. But if you ain't got that car and you telling him he gotta have a car,
exactly.
lower your standards.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm with that. I'm with what you said, but I'm also my point was what he said. I think that self-awareness is key here when we're talking about this. Knowing yourself, I think is key when you set these standards. You have to know that there is whatever level of life that you and whatever level of life that you on. There's some people that's above you, and there's some people that's below you. And it don't matter where you are. You can think you're at the top. It's still a Bill Gates around. It's still a motherfucker that runs shit. And so I think self-awareness matters when you setting these standards. I do think when you look at these standards and understand that your results match the idea that you might not meet the qualifications for the standards that you set, I do think that there comes a time where if you want what you want, if you want a relationship, you might have to lower what you're asking for from another person. And I don't think that goes as far as asking. I don't think that's as crucial as dating somebody who ain't got nothing. I think it's more so if that you should probably lower the standard in a sense to where the chances that happen is not as likely as you meeting just a regular good man.
Beyonce.
But, and not only that, I'm simply saying in layman's terms, the chances that you meet a regular good man are just still much higher than the chances that you meet a 1% guy.
Right.
Next topic. All right, I'm gonna hit you with a curveball. Let's talk sports. I'm gonna start with you on this one because we talked about this topic before. Arian Foster was on the podcast. For those that don't know, Arian Foster is a former running back for the Houston Texans. Arian Foster was on the podcast where he mentioned that the NFL is scripted. He alleges that he got a script before the season started that told him when injuries would happen, what kind of penalties would occur, which ones would be missed, and who would win and lose games. Is there any credence to this?
I heard that he was just being a jokester, if you will. He was just joking. But I myself will wear the title proudly of conspiracy theorist. So I'm that guy that believes 9/11 was a hoax. I'm that guy that believes in crisis actors and shit like that.
So you leave room for the possibility it might be.
So when we start talking about, hey, is this NFL shit planned? Now, does it look like exactly what Arian Foster, how he detailed it? Maybe not. But is it still a plan from preseason 1 to the draft of the next summer? I think so. But I think that with basketball, I think that with politics.
You like that across the board?
Across the board. When you get your new president in 2024 whatever, I think he was handpicked already.
Right.
What do you think? Do you think it's possible that the NFL is scripted in that way?
I feel like in this day and age, you expect the unexpected with anything. The NFL, the NBA, anything. Because at the end of the day, it's like they're a franchise. They're all about making money. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna dictate it the way they want to dictate it. Yeah. In regards to them being on top and making money. Right. So
I think she touched on it as far as where I was at with it. I think that although both of y'all might be right, Arian Foster, I think that nigga tripping. If he was joking, I accept that because I only saw the clip taken out of context. You know how that shit works. Right. What if he was serious? I saw when he said that shit. I saw a whole list on Bleacher Report of athletes and former NFL players and actual NFL players completely discrediting that and joking about it. Nobody's receiving these scripts, so it's very well likely it could be a joke. However, I'm with her when I say this is a big money making corporation. And I watched the movie that detailed how they tried to kill that man who exposed CTE because of how detrimental it was to their game.
There you go.
And I understand that. I understand they talk to referees and have them call things a certain way. They referee meetings. They spot things that certain players like to do and decide how they gonna call them. James Harden, on the other hand, got away with traveling for a lot of years. Yeah. And as a Houston fan, I never said he was traveling. But now that he gone, that nigga was traveling.
This shit was scripted. Let's just say, like she said, the truth come to light. And Arian Foster is telling 1,000% truth. This shit scripted. It's fake as fuck. They've been getting over us the whole time. Would you still watch football?
Nah. The integrity would be gone. Hey, next topic. Let me read y'all this quote. This next topic is comes after Russell Westbrook was traded from the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook was labeled a cancer in the locker room. They actually used the term vampire after Anthony Davis was seen on the bench looking like he wasn't enthused when LeBron hit that bucket that gave him the all-time scoring record. You can see there's camera angles of Anthony Davis sitting on the bench looking like he disgusted at the whole thing.
True.
The ESPN reporters surmised that because there was a fight, an argument in the locker room between the head coach Darvin Ham and Russell Westbrook, they believe and they said that they believe Anthony Davis, because he's good friends with LeBron James, wasn't salty about what was going on, but that Russell Westbrook had literally sucked all the energy out of the team and the locker room just prior to the third quarter when that happened. So. They used the term vampire. Russell Westbrook's wife took to Twitter to respond to what they were saying about her husband. Here's the quote. Russell is no vampire. This is also slander because anyone who knows him knows that this couldn't be further from the truth. On a personal note, I have school-age children that have to listen to their peers repeat the nasty things that you say on television about their father. I guess I'll prepare myself to explain to a 5-year-old that his dad is not a vampire and that major news outlets say things like this to get attention. So I want to ask you first, is she out of bounds for speaking up for her husband?
Absolutely not.
Are they wrong for what they said about her?
Absolutely. It's all about accountability. You know, you're on this news platform belittling this man. It don't matter. Everybody's open to their own point of views, but keep it respectful. At the end of the day, we don't know the backstory of what exactly happened in their locker room. So yeah, like if me and him are going to argue, that might take a toll on you, and you might feel some type of way. You might feel like, dang, I don't even want to do this podcast right now.
Right.
Then that's going to take a toll on you. That's human nature. But that doesn't mean that you condemn the person that, you go on social media and condemn this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how dare you? Like, his family has to see that. His children has to see that. So, yeah, she had every right to stand by your man.
What do you think?
I think that when you're somebody of Russell Westbrook's caliber, you coming out in the top draft and all of that, these are the things that you sign up for, to be ridiculed and persecuted, I think, by the public.
Based on your play?
Based on your play or anything revolving around your play.
Okay.
Okay, number one. So the locker room is revolved around your play.
Yeah.
Anything that you do to get you in trouble that stops you from playing is revolved around your play. So I think that all of that is open for, consumption, number one. Number two, I think that his wife should not have said anything, and this is why. Because you have to also be prepared for what comes with that. When you sit in the background as the wife, all attention is on Russell Westbrook. All attention, persecution, and ridicule is on Russell Westbrook. Everything that he does is under a microscope, but that's fine because he's the superstar. Mm-hmm. The moment you step to the forefront and get to speaking how you speak, now we all can come at you too.
And he's going to have
now you've taken away that safe space that he's built around you by saying, hey, I'm going to wear all this on my back to protect my family. Mm-hmm. Now you got him out here saying, hey, don't talk to my wife like that.
Yeah.
Don't say this to my wife. Don't be putting, now y'all making my wife feel some type of way. We not making your wife do nothing. Your wife ushered herself into that spotlight. So you can feel how you feel about whatever, but you got to understand that in this type of predicament, what you do falls on his shoulders at all times. And you may have his best interest at heart, but when you step out and say something, you may be making his situation worse.